Have you ever asked yourself why you do what you do, not just once, but every single day? You see, most of us start with a strong why, a purpose that fuels us. We set goals, build dreams, and promise ourselves we'll stay committed. But somewhere along the way, life happens. The spark fades, the motivation drifts, and the purpose that once burned bright becomes a faint memory. That's why I believe your why isn't something you define once in your life. It's something you redefine every single day. Let's start here. Your why is not a fixed destination. It's a living, breathing compass. It changes as you grow, as your priorities shift, as your understanding of life deepens. Maybe 10 years ago, your why was to prove something to others, to be successful, admired, respected. But now, your why might be peace, fulfillment, or impact. If you don't take time to realign with it daily, you risk chasing goals that no longer belong to you. Think of your why as the calibration of your inner GPS. You wouldn't drive with outdated directions, right? Yet, so many people live that way, following an old map of who they used to be. Every morning, when you wake up, you have a new chance to ask, why am I doing this? What matters most today? That small moment of reflection could save you from months, even years of wandering off course. Here's the truth. Motivation fades when meaning fades. When you forget why you started, every task feels heavy. But when your why is fresh and alive, even the hardest challenges carry a sense of purpose. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop existing and start living intentionally. Let me share a quick story. A young teacher once told me she felt burnt out, completely drained from her work. When I asked her why she became a teacher, she said, to inspire young minds. Then I asked her, when was the last time you reminded yourself of that? She paused. She realized she had been so focused on paperwork, deadlines, and stress that she forgot her true reason for being there. The next morning, she began writing her why on a sticky note. I teach to inspire. She placed it on her desk. Every day she saw it, felt it, and lived it. Within weeks, her energy shifted, not because her workload changed, but because her mindset did. That's the power of daily reevaluation. It reconnects your actions with your intention. Now, how do you actually do it? It's simple. First, pause even for 2 minutes every morning. Ask yourself, what's my why today? Maybe it's to serve, to grow, to create, or simply to show up with grace. Then, act accordingly. Let your choices reflect your daily purpose. Remember, your why is not one grand declaration you make at a seminar or write in your journal once a year. It's a quiet, consistent conversation with yourself. Because every sunrise brings a new version of you, and each version deserves a fresh purpose, a renewed sense of direction. So, the next time you feel lost, unmotivated, or disconnected, don't ask, what should I do? Ask instead, why am I doing it? Reevaluate it. Reclaim it. Revive it. Your why is your inner light, but it only shines when you keep it lit. Let's imagine this. You're standing on a mountain trail, map in hand, confident about your destination. You begin your climb step by step, full of energy and determination. But hours later, the path bends, the weather shifts, and the terrain changes. Suddenly, that same map that guided you earlier feels outdated. What do? You recalibrate. You recheck your compass. You adapt. That's exactly what your why is meant to be, a living, breathing compass, not a static map carved in stone. Most people treat their why like a one-time declaration. They define it once, maybe in a moment of inspiration, a graduation speech, or a journal entry, and then assume it will guide them forever. But here's the truth. Life evolves, and so must your why. The version of you at 20 does not need the same why as the version of you at 40. The young dreamer chasing recognition eventually becomes the mature soul seeking peace, contribution, and meaning. What once fueled you might no longer fit who you've become, and that's not failure, that's growth. Your why should stretch and breathe with your life. It should respond to your seasons, the successes, the heartbreaks, the quiet awakenings in between, because each experience reshapes your heart's architecture. Let's think about this in practical terms. Imagine someone whose why was to build a successful business. For years, they hustle late nights, endless emails, chasing clients. They achieve the milestones, money, recognition, freedom. But then, one morning, they wake up feeling empty. Why? Because their old why, the desire to prove themselves, no longer aligns with their new self, who craves balance, family, and deeper fulfillment. If they never pause to reevaluate, they'll keep running faster on a treadmill that leads nowhere meaningful. Now, let's look at it from another angle, the emotional one. When your why becomes outdated, life feels heavier. Tasks that once energized you begin to drain you. You lose clarity, not because you're lazy or undisciplined, but because your compass no longer points north. Daily reevaluation keeps your inner compass aligned. It's not about overthinking or doubting your goals. It's about staying truthful to your current self. Ask yourself, who am I today, and what matters most right now? That simple question can reset your mindset. Think about how nature works. The sun rises and sets every day, the tides shift, the seasons change. Nothing in life is static, yet we expect our purpose to stay the same. Your why needs to evolve with the rhythm of your journey. Reevaluating your why daily doesn't mean changing your dreams every morning. It means reconnecting your actions with your intention. It means saying, today, I choose to remember why I started. And sometimes today, I allow my why to grow. That's what makes your why powerful, not its permanence, but its flexibility, because when your why adapts, you adapt. When it expands, you expand. And when it stays alive, you stay alive inside. So let your why breathe with you. Let it change colors with your seasons. Let it whisper different truths as you evolve. And every morning, before you dive into your routines, take a moment to check your compass. Ask yourself, is my why still guiding me? Or have I outgrown it? The answer to that question could change not just your direction, but the quality of your entire journey. Because your why was never meant to be a destination. It was always meant to be your compass, alive, aware, and aligned with who you are becoming. Let's face it, motivation doesn't last. No matter how inspired you feel after a powerful video, a success story, or even a personal breakthrough, that fire fades eventually. The excitement you felt on day one of your journey doesn't always survive the storms of routine, rejection, and repetition. But here's the deeper truth behind that fading spark. Motivation doesn't die because you're weak, it fades because your meaning has faded. Every action we take draws energy from a sense of why. It's that invisible force behind every great achievement, every act of resilience, and every comeback story. When you know your why, you don't just push through challenges, you move with purpose. But when that meaning becomes blurry, even the smallest tasks feel like a mountain. Think about it. Remember a time when you were deeply passionate about something, a goal, a relationship, a cause. You didn't have to force yourself to show up. You wanted to. You stayed late. You worked harder. And you gave more because the reason behind it lit you up from within. That's what meaning does. It transforms effort into energy. Now imagine the opposite. You're doing the same work, but you've forgotten why you started. Suddenly, the excitement turns into obligation. You wake up tired, not because of the workload, but because your heart isn't in it anymore. You're not tired of working hard, you're tired of working without meaning. That's why daily reevaluation is so powerful. It's not about constantly reinventing yourself. It's about reconnecting yourself every day to what matters most. When your meaning fades, your motivation naturally follows. But when you take even a few minutes to reignite your why, you breathe life back into your actions. You turn discipline from something that drains you into something that defines you. Let's consider a real-world example. Picture an athlete training for the Olympics. Every morning, they wake up before sunrise, enduring pain, fatigue, and monotony. What keeps them going isn't the medals or the applause, it's the why behind their pursuit. Maybe it's to inspire their country, to honor their family, or to push human limits. That why transforms every ache into a statement of purpose. But if that reason fades, no amount of discipline can carry them forward. The same applies to all of us, whether we're teachers, entrepreneurs, parents, artists, or students. When your actions lose meaning, your motivation becomes mechanical. You're moving, but not living. You're busy, but not fulfilled. So, what's the remedy? Keep your why alive consciously, deliberately, and daily. Here's how. Reflect each morning. Before you rush into your day, ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm about to do? Not in a judgmental way, but in a curious, grounding way. Anchor your day to a word. Maybe your why today is growth, or peace, or service. Let that one word color your decisions and actions. Reignite gratitude. Remember how far you've come since you started. Gratitude revives meaning, and meaning sustains motivation. Celebrate small wins. They remind you that progress, not perfection, is your purpose. Meaning doesn't appear once and stay forever. It needs attention, reflection, and renewal like a flame that requires air to keep burning. When you feed your why with awareness, you stop chasing motivation. Motivation becomes the natural outcome of living with intention. Because the truth is you don't lose motivation, you lose connection. Reconnect with your why, and everything else falls into rhythm again. So, the next time you feel uninspired, don't ask for more motivation, ask for more meaning. Because when your why burns bright, no challenge can extinguish your drive. Keep your why alive, and it will keep you alive, no matter what life throws your way. Every day when you wake up, life quietly asks you a question. Why are you doing what you're doing? Most of us are too busy to answer. We rush into routines, grab our phones, and dive into responsibilities, emails, errands, expectations. But if you pause for just a moment before the day takes over, you'll realize something powerful. Every day gives you a new version of yourself, and that version deserves a fresh sense of purpose. Reevaluating your why daily isn't about being uncertain or indecisive. It's about being aware, because awareness is what separates people who simply exist from those who evolve. When you take a few moments each day to reconnect with your purpose, you realign your mind, your energy, and your decisions. It's like tuning an instrument. You may sound okay without it, but when you tune in, you create harmony. Here's why this matters so deeply. Your purpose, no matter how clear it once was, can fade behind the noise of life. Responsibilities pile up. External pressures grow louder. The opinions of others creep in. Before long, you're moving, but you're not moving toward your direction anymore. You're running on autopilot. Daily reevaluation breaks that autopilot. It's your mental and emotional reset button. It's your way of saying, wait a minute, am I still living by my true why, or have I started living by habit, fear, or expectation? Let's be honest, it's easy to get caught up in momentum. Success itself can distract you. You hit one goal, and without even stopping to celebrate or reflect, you're already chasing the next one. But if you never stop to ask why, success becomes another form of noise, impressive on the outside, empty on the inside. I once heard a story about a man who climbed the corporate ladder for 20 years, only to realize at the top that his ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. That's what happens when we stop checking in with our why. Daily reevaluation isn't just about progress, it's about direction. Because going fast in the wrong direction still gets you lost. So how do you do it? How do you reevaluate your why? In a practical, meaningful way every day, here's a simple process. Start your morning with stillness. Before the noise begins, take 2 minutes to breathe and ask, what truly matters to me today? Maybe your why today is to serve. Maybe it's to create. Maybe it's simply to be kind to yourself. Let that answer guide your actions. Align your choices with your answer. Throughout the day, check in. Ask, is what I'm doing right now connected to my why? If not, adjust. That awareness brings peace and purpose back to even the most ordinary moments. End your day with reflection. Before bed, ask, did I live by my why today? This is not about guilt, it's about growth. Even one small action aligned with your why is a victory. The magic of this daily reevaluation lies in its simplicity. You don't have to wait for a major life event to rediscover your purpose. You can do it every morning, right here, right now. Because the truth is, your why isn't just a grand statement written on a vision board, it's a living energy that needs daily attention. Just like your body needs movement and your mind needs rest, your purpose needs reflection. When you practice this consistently, something extraordinary happens. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You begin to move with clarity, not confusion. You start saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that fulfill you. And that's the gift of daily reevaluation. It keeps you aligned, not with who you were yesterday, not with who others expect you to be, but with who you are becoming one intentional day at a time. So tomorrow morning, before the world asks for your attention, take a moment to ask yourself, why am I doing this today? Your answer doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be true. And that truth, renewed daily, will quietly shape the life you were meant to live. We live in a world that glorifies movement. Everyone is busy, everyone is running, everyone is doing. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Doing more doesn't always mean becoming more. You can fill your days with endless activity and still feel profoundly empty inside. Why? Because your actions have drifted away from your intention. When your daily actions disconnect from your deeper why, life becomes mechanical, a checklist of achievements rather than a journey of alignment. You start performing instead of living. You wake up, go through routines, tick off boxes, meet deadlines, and yet something feels missing. That something is meaning, that spark you once had when your goals matched your heart's rhythm. To reconnect your actions with your intention is to breathe soul back into what you do. It's to remind yourself that how you live matters as much as what you achieve. Let's pause and think. Why do some people seem so alive, even when they're doing ordinary things? It's not because their lives are easier, it's because they've mastered this alignment. Their why and their what walk hand in hand. They don't just work, they contribute. They don't just speak, they connect. They don't just survive the day, they shape it with purpose. Now contrast that with someone who's lost touch with their intention. They may still succeed by the world's standards, promotions, applause, productivity, but deep down, there's a silent ache. A question that whispers, what's the point? That's where daily reevaluation of your why becomes a lifeline. It helps you realign the bridge between your inner purpose and outer performance. Here's a simple truth. Your intention is the seed, and your actions are the growth. If the two are misaligned, your growth becomes directionless. It's like planting a tree and never letting it see the sun. When your actions reflect your intention, every task, no matter how small, gains significance. Washing the dishes becomes gratitude. Working late becomes service. Saying no becomes self-respect. That's how purpose transforms the mundane into the meaningful. But how do we practically reconnect our actions with intention in a noisy, demanding world? Let's break it down. Start with awareness. Before jumping into your to-do list, ask, why am I doing these things? If the answer is just because I have to, pause, dig deeper. Even responsibilities can be reframed. You don't go to work just to earn money, you go to create value, to learn, to build something. That shift turns pressure into purpose. Slow down your pace. Rushing blinds you to meaning. Take moments throughout your day to breathe, to observe, to feel the why behind your actions. Even 5 seconds of presence can reset your energy. Set intentional anchors. Write your daily why. Somewhere visible, a sticky note, your phone wallpaper, your journal. Let it guide you like a compass when distractions arise. Reflect at night. Ask, did my actions today match my intentions? If not, that's not failure, it's feedback. It's your inner compass helping you realign for tomorrow. Reconnecting actions with intention isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about choosing to live awake instead of asleep. When you operate from this space, your energy shifts. You stop seeking validation because you're living in alignment. You stop burning out because your work fuels your values. Remember, productivity without purpose is just motion. But when intention fuels your actions, motion becomes meaningful progress. And that's the bridge, the sacred connection between what you do and why you do it. It's what turns the ordinary into art and the routine into ritual. So, as you step into each new day, don't just ask, what do I have to do? Ask, what intention do I want to carry into it? Because when your actions and intentions walk together, your life stops being a race and starts becoming a reflection of your truth. That's how you move from exhaustion to fulfillment, by turning activity into alignment and routine into purpose. We often treat our why, our sense of purpose, like a grand statement, something we define once in a workshop, a journal, or a late night reflection, and then frame in our minds as the ultimate guiding truth. But here's the deeper, quieter wisdom. Your why isn't a single speech you give yourself, it's an ongoing, intimate conversation you must have every day. Because life keeps talking to you through joy, through struggle, through change, and your why must respond. The danger of defining your purpose only once is that it freezes you in a moment of time that no longer exists. The person you were when you wrote that mission statement isn't the same person you are today. You've experienced more. You've lost, grown, healed, evolved. So how can your why, the heartbeat of your actions, stay identical? It can't, and it shouldn't. Your why must be living dialogue, not a fixed script. Imagine for a moment your relationship with someone you deeply care about, a friend, a partner, a family member. That relationship thrives not because you once said "I care," but because you keep saying it, showing it, living it. You nurture it through attention, reflection, and conversation. Your why deserves the same care. Think of your why as your internal partner in growth. Every morning it asks you, who are you becoming? What truly matters today? What needs your heart right now? And every time you answer honestly, you strengthen your connection to purpose. Let's be honest, many of us drift because we stop having that dialogue. We chase goals mechanically. We fill our calendars but forget our calling. We get so busy chasing progress that we forget to pause and ask, progress toward what? Daily conversation with your why is the antidote to that drift. It's the habit that keeps your heart awake. It's your way of checking in with yourself before the world pulls you in every direction. Let's break it down into 3 stages. The morning check-in: reignite awareness before your day begins. Give yourself 2 sacred minutes. Sit in stillness and ask, why am I showing up today? Maybe today your why is about creating, or serving, or healing, or simply being kind to yourself. Let your answer be fluid. It doesn't have to sound impressive, it just has to feel true. When you begin your day anchored in your why, your energy shifts. You move from obligation to intention. You stop doing things because you should, and start doing them because they mean something. The midday reminder: reconnect through reflection. Life gets noisy fast. Responsibilities pile up, distractions multiply, emotions fluctuate. That's why at least once during the day, pause and breathe. Ask, am I still aligned with my why? If not, gently steer yourself back. The power isn't in never losing focus, it's in knowing how to return to it. The evening dialogue: reaffirm growth at night, reflect. Not with criticism, but with curiosity. Ask, did my actions honor my why today? Maybe yes, maybe no, both answers are valuable. If you stayed aligned, celebrate it. If you drifted, simply notice it and prepare to begin again tomorrow. That's how awareness becomes transformation. This daily conversation keeps your purpose from becoming stale or abstract. It turns your why into something living, something that breathes with you, grows with you, and guides you. Because your why isn't a declaration you engrave and forget. It's a relationship you cultivate through daily awareness. It's your internal dialogue between who you are and who you are becoming. And the beauty of it is this: you don't need perfect clarity to start. You just need the willingness to listen, to ask yourself the right questions, even if the answers aren't immediate. So, make it a daily ritual, not once a year, not when you feel lost, but every single day. Because the day you stop talking to your why is the day you start drifting away from yourself. Keep that conversation alive, whisper to your purpose every morning, and it will keep whispering back through everything you do. That's how you don't just live with a why, you live through it. And that, my friend, is where true fulfillment begins. Your why, the pulse of a purposeful life. At the heart of everything you do lies one quiet but powerful truth: your why. It's the invisible pulse behind your actions, the meaning behind your movement, the voice that whispers, this is what matters. But here's what most people forget: your why isn't carved in stone. It's alive. It grows when you grow. It deepens when life challenges you. It shifts when your soul learns something new. And that's why it needs your daily attention. Reevaluating your why isn't about questioning your purpose, it's about renewing it. It's the act of keeping your heart and habits in harmony. Because when your why stays alive, your energy stays clear, your choices stay meaningful, and your journey stays authentic. Each morning gives you a chance to reconnect, to align your actions with intention, your goals with gratitude, and your effort with emotion. So, don't let your why become a forgotten note in the background of your busy life. Bring it to the forefront, speak to it, listen to it, live through it, because the most fulfilled people aren't the ones who have everything figured out. They're the ones who never stop asking, "Why am I doing this?" And in that daily question lies the key to something greater than success, the key to a purposeful, peaceful, and passionately lived life. So, remember, your why isn't just your reason for starting, it's your reminder to keep becoming. Thank you.